Today we have a complete new tutorial for you in which we dive into a case study of a culture mix of two organizations. So Inqqa AI has been designed to help you as a professional to connect the dots in survey and market research. It works through three simple steps: connect your data, select what matters, and impress with insights. So the case we have today evolves around a company which has about 4,000 employees, which takes over another company, one which is similar in size. So of course this poses an interesting employee experience challenge where two cultures will have to mix. So a great way to find out what drives the people is to conduct a survey and ask 2 or 3 open-ended questions. So for this specific case we have a survey and we anonymized it and we can show you the results, and it's quite insightful. So let's open up the Excel file. Here you see the Excel file, and as you can see there are many different questions which are asked, closed-ended questions, but there are 3 questions we're going to be focusing on today with Inqqa. Please describe in a few words the culture of your own organization. So this is introspective to the own organization. We translated all the questions to English. Of course, for Inqqa this is not really necessary, but for readability we translate it. And the other question is describe in a few words the perception of the other organization. So introspection, to see what the employees think of the other organization. And then there's one final follow-up question: what else is important to you in sharing regarding the cultural integration? So what the employee really thinks is important in terms of mixing these two cultures. So how can we analyze the results and get to action? Let's show that today. In Inqqa you have the possibility to upload the project, and I can do it by creating one from source. It's in English, create from source, and there we go. Here we are. You have the possibility in Inqqa to select which column from the Excel file you want to analyze. So standard, we pick one. We only pick one of these columns to do our analysis on, but for this particular use case it's interesting to pick them all. So let's pick the translated ones, 1, 2 and 3, and mix them all up into one Inqqa project and do the analysis on. So I'm not going to continue, but I'm going to jump back to the project I've already loaded. There we go. So we open up the empty project. So of course if you ask people about their own organization and about the other organization, quite possibly the same kind of topics will arise. So we have something about openness, open culture, customer-oriented, sustainability. All these things which you typically might find in a survey like this will pop up immediately. So we can either do our manual process and define the labels, or we can use our AI assistants to do a starting point. But I'm gonna switch over to the project we have already finished, and we did a little bit of work in this already, so it's good to keep that in mind. And if we have done the analysis, we have a nice coverage of topics where you can see that we have the topics like commercial, business-like and result-oriented, customer-oriented, diversity, employee or people-oriented. These are all things you might expect. So let's dive into the results and see what we can do with these results, because that's a very nice trick we can show you with Inqqa. So of course the very first thing what we can do is have an overall overview. So what are the typical drivers for this specific organization in terms of the bringing together of two different cultures. So a lot of people perceive themselves or the other organization as commercial, business-like and result-oriented. employee and people oriented is also one which is very important, and openness and transparency. This is our top 3 overall of our data. So this of course is interesting, but with Inqqa, the way it is set up, we can dive a little bit further. You can filter on from which question the answers are visualized. So let's pick, how do you describe your own organization? We can do that by picking this one from question, and here you see our 3 text fields we have selected earlier. So if we select one, the culture of your own organization, we have again a top 3. It's very similar, right? So again, we have the commercial, employee, and the openness. So how about how they see the other organization? We can also do a selection here. And here we see something different. So if we ask all the employees, so all 8,000 of them, they still think the other organization is also commercial, is also employee oriented, but it's a little bit more formal. So this is something which comes up as a worry for both of the organizations. So we can even make it a little bit more specific, because in our original Excel file we also have the information from which company these answers come from. So if we select describe in a few words the culture of your organization, but we take the legacy organization and we pick company 1. So company 1 sees themselves as open, employee oriented, and commercial. Well, we have seen that these 2 are very important, but this one is new. Well, how about company 2? Company 2 has the exact same image of themselves, so also commercial, employee and people oriented, and very open. So that's interesting, because there might be a lot of worries about these 2 cultures mixing, but actually if they describe themselves, they think they're very alike. So there should be a very good cultural match, and it might help to present these results to give people the trust that they actually, if you ask them how they see themselves, they describe themselves as pretty much the same. So how about the other questions? Let's see where the worries are. Describe in a few words your perception of the other culture. So again, let's filter on the legacy organization and see on company 1. So how do you think the other organization is structured? So the formality here comes into play. So this is something which is a worry from the people from organization number 1 about organization number 2. And vice versa, sustainability is something which is perceived by the other respondents as something which is more present in the other organization. So this gives some very concrete talking points on presenting to both of the populations of the employees to raise additional effort and time on, and to show that there are very much that there are a lot of similarities between these 2 groups of people, but there are also some differences, and they can be used and addressed to learn from each other, which is something you can also find if you learn about the analysis from question number 3. What else is very important? Be very employee and people oriented, and the culture mix, culture match is very important. And actually this is something which is stated a lot in the open answers, and you can just pick a few of the nice examples on how people express that and use that as nice materials in your presentations. So I hope this is a very practical guide to help you with similar business cases or an exact culture match. I hope it has helped. If you have any ideas or any feedback to us, please let us know. We're always here to help. And if you haven't started with Inqqa yet, you can request a free trial on our website. Bye bye!